So Donkey Deem has officially finished Donkey Kong Country Returns HD on the Switch. Now this is the third time technically Donkey Kong Country Returns has come out. It's come out on the Wii, it has come out on the 3DS, and now officially on the Switch. And I've loved Donkey Kong Country since the Super Nintendo, in fact. I've loved it since this little bad boy here. Playing Donkey Kong Country 1, Donkey Kong Country 2, and 3 on the original Super Nintendo. It's actually officially on the Switch too. If you have the Super Nintendo online app, you can actually play it on there. And of course, comparing Donkey Kong Country Returns to those original Donkey Kong Countries, it's not very comparable. Truth be told, again, this is the third time this game has come out, right? I tried it on the Wii originally when it first came out all those years ago. I believe it was 2008. Tried it then. Wasn't really feeling of course, it was still with the Wiimotes, the motion controls, so you kind of had to shake the remote while playing. Now, of course, me playing the original Donkey Kong Country, those games were very precise when it came to jumping, and yeah, me thinking about shaking the controller while jumping and stuff like that seemed a little off. It seemed a little crazy. I was like, I don't think I want to do this. Donkey Kong Country Returns just misses a lot of that original feel. When it comes to gameplay, when it comes to music, enemies is a huge part of this as well, right? Because King K. Rool was the original boss, original antagonist, him and his crocs and his crocodile gang, and them coming to steal the bananas from Donkey Kong. That was a huge, just an easy storyline to understand. Donkey Kong wakes up, all his bananas are gone, he's upset, goes and chases everyone down. That's really just how Donkey Kong Country starts. Donkey Kong Country Returns starts with these masks that remind me of the Unka Unka masks from Crash Bandicoot, and they're able to, I guess, hypnotize other animals with music, but apparently Donkey Kong is immune to it, and that's pretty much the premise of the game. They just don't work as well as King K. Rool and the Croc Gang, pretty much. There is no comparison when it comes to the enemies. Music alone, of course, Rare was cooking with something different during this time, all right? You got to think, they had Donkey Kong Country, they had Killer Instinct, but all those soundtracks alone are just incredible from that time period. Like, that is what made the Super Nintendo the Super Nintendo. A lot of the music you think of from Super Nintendo, probably from Rare. And yeah, Donkey Kong Country Returns music is, it's fine. It's fine. It's, it's hinting at where, the previous track from Donkey Kong Country. Of course, it has the original intro and a few songs here and there that have kind of been updated a little bit, but nothing more than that. It doesn't bring anything new to the table when it comes to the music side of things. And I feel like Donkey Kong Country has a lot to do with music. Hell, Donkey Kong Country has so much to do with music that this is the GameCube controller. If you've never seen it, this is actually a GameCube controller for Donkey Konga, a GameCube game. This is like the only GameCube games that Donkey Kong got with these bad boys right here. So yeah, that's how much music has always kind of been when it comes to Donkey Kong. Music is a very important part for Donkey Kong. Of course, the Donkey Kong 64 rap. There's another person and another huge thing that bothered me when it comes from going from the original Donkey Kong Country to the Returns. Diddy Kong. No Diddy. I've talked about it. I had a reel about this on my streams. I had a reel about it already on social about it. Diddy Kong is such a huge part of what makes Donkey Kong Country so good. And in Donkey Kong Country Returns, they turn him into extra hit points and a little bit of a higher jump, essentially. You can't play with Diddy Kong by himself. In a co-op mode, I believe you can, but in the original Donkey Kong Country, you're actually able to swap between the two. You press select, and it swaps between Donkey and Diddy Kong. And of course, in the second one, he is the star of the second Donkey Kong Country too. But in Donkey Kong Country Returns, you don't get any of that. You literally get him as his little jetpack and 3 extra hit points, and that's all you get from Diddy Kong. and it bothers me. It really, really does to show to kind of put him into this box essentially of how good of a character he really was just by himself. I mean, look, I have on a whole Donkey Kong Country jacket. All right, shout out to Dirty Nerdy Birdie for this jacket. It literally has the original Donkey Kong here with the bonus. Of course, Donkey Kong right there. Diddy Kong is right there as well. I mean, the backup, it says Donkey Kong. Like, it's one of my favorite jackets of all time. I have loved Donkey Kong Country. I'm known as Donkey Deem in the streets, to be fair. Like, look at my boy right there. Look at the Donkey Kong across the back. Like, I love Donkey Kong Country. And to see where Donkey Kong Country returns, and again, this being the third time it's returned, I gotta say, this is not what I want from Donkey Kong Country. This is not what I feel like is Donkey Kong Country, at least not to me, man. And the funny part is that a lot of people that I know, I've seen people talk about it. Like, this is what they grew up with. They love this Donkey Kong Country. So for some people, this is their game, man. You know, kudos to y'all for playing this one. Me particularly, though, I can't. I beat it though. I did beat it on my stream. Deem everything on Twitch. Beat the whole Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. So I just wanted to make sure I at least gave it a shot. Gave it a chance to see if I actually, was tripping when I was a little bit younger playing it on the Wii. But nah, it still didn't hit. It still did not hit. It still felt like it was missing something. Whether it was the enemies, whether it was the music, whether it was Diddy Kong. And of course, it being a $60 game now, which is kind of crazy as well. Which kind of is funny to show that we went from a $60 game for it. And then of course on the Wii, it became a Nintendo Selects game. Remember, like, of course, Greatest Hits back in the day, where you were able to kind of, for PS2, it was called the Greatest Hits. It was one of their best games. They would drop down to like $20, and you can get it for $20 instead. Donkey Kong Country Returns on the Wii got down to that price. So just kind of seeing how far we've come when it comes. I don't even think we will probably ever get to the whole Nintendo Selects or the Greatest Hits anymore, which kind of sucks. It was really nice to actually have that back in the day. But yeah, this game was $20 for at a time. Of course, it came out on the 3DS. And this, of course, would be considered the definitive edition because the Wii is the original, of course, and 3DS actually got more levels on it. So this would be the definitive edition, of course, because it's on the Switch. It has those extra levels from the 3DS, and it's $60, and it's it's remastered, it's HD and everything else like that. But yeah, it just returns to what for me? It returns to what? Like mediocrity. It's just not Donkey Kong Country Returns. Now, I heard Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze is really good. I heard that one is better, at least better than this one. So, which is on the Switch as well. It came out on the Wii U originally, but now it's on the Switch. So I plan on giving that a shot as well to kind of really get my Donkey Kong Country, at least where we're going from in the future with Donkey Kong Country. Because I feel like, yeah, this wasn't it for me on the Wii. It wasn't it for me on the 3DS. And it wasn't for me on the Switch either. I wanted to give it one last shot, and it still just fell flat to me. And again, I explained it. It's the music, it's the enemies. I guess it's a price tag now. Diddy Kong is not who he needs to be for me. And yeah, that's really what it turns out to me. Unfortunately, love Donkey Kong, Donkey Deem across the chest, across the jacket. So. Hope to see better from Donkey Kong Country. I know Nintendo World and Universal in Japan has a Donkey Kong Country land now. They just added Donkey Kong into the Universal now. So looking forward to actually going to that, especially when it comes to the US, or if I can make it to the one in Japan. Either way, still looking forward to Donkey Kong no matter what. Apparently, they did also change his design in the new Mario Kart. People are saying that they went to his older design, the one from the original arcade Donkey Kong. Apparently he went back to that design for the new Mario Kart, so we'll see how that looks as well. Yeah, man, that's pretty much what all I have to come out and say and talk about. I just wanted to, I beat the game. I feel like I could finally give a honest review about it. I wanted to at least play it and beat it, which I did. Deem everything on Twitch if you want to go ahead and watch me come play some other games in the future. And also, I just need to go ahead and leave with this. Just know. None of us would be here without a banana nut cream pie. Just remember that. So Donkey and his crew are up to something. They get it. The Kongs know the only way to really succeed in this life, banana nut cream pies. That's it for this video, man. This is Deem Everything, talking about everything Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. Looking forward to another video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Deem out.